Welcome back to the Lemming Report. Time to take a look at the players who are so good we can't pigeonhole them into a position. It's Tom's Top 10 Athletes, brought to you by American Family Insurance. At number 10, Jameis Williams from Georgia, crossing state lines to South Carolina, Tom, to play for Will Muschamp.
You know, I watched him play at two different high schools. He's one of the more explosive ball players in the entire South as a cornerback, as a wide receiver, as a running back, but also as a punt and kickoff returner. He's one of the premier ball players in the state of Georgia, and even though he's small, exceptionally explosive, just a terrific all-around talent on both sides of the ball, like all the top 10 guys are. But he's one of the guys that can run a 4.39, 4.40, and major talent.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach Muschamp. Put him wherever you want. All right, at number 9 is Paris Ford, a 4.5-star prospect from Pittsburgh. He's staying close to home to play for Pat Narduzzi and the Panthers. Big one here, Tom.
Coach Narduzzi's got himself one of the premier players in the East. Another athlete. He can play quarterback, play running back, wide receiver. He also returns kick. You see the speed there. He's a legit 6'1", 180-pounder. So I really like his overall game. I've seen him play the last couple of years. He's got great hands. I believe he'll wind up as a wide receiver. A lot of coaches think that he could be an outstanding cover corner also because he's got that kind of talent and explosiveness also.
Yep, got quite a gallop there. At number 8, Tank Robinson, a South Carolina native, considering a couple in-state options with the Gamecocks and Clemson, as well as Alabama, Duke, and Georgia. Great name. Where might he land, Tom?
You know what? I think South Carolina, Clemson, they're all after him. Georgia's coming after him really hard now. His coach called me a couple years ago and wanted me to stop by the school, which I did, in the central part of South Carolina, and really came away impressed with him. On the offensive side of the ball, as a quarterback, on defense, he can hit, nicknamed the Hammer also, besides Tank. So he can run, he can play. Like I said, again, he's another one of those great athletes. You can see him run. He's a big guy here, and he doesn't look like he's moving that fast. He runs like a 4.58, and a lot of times it looks like he's running a 4.3.
Yeah, it makes the most of it. Maybe it looks more like an F-16 than a tank. That was an impressive video there. Maybe it's the opponent, but doubt it. Landing at number 7 now is Kell Krocker, 85th overall in the class, Louisiana native, crossing over to Texas A&M. Kevin Sumlin loves these kinds of guys, Tom. How is he going to use them?
I think he could use him as a free safety. I think that's his best position. You can see him playing a lot of different positions here. He's up in the Shreveport area. I made a special trip to go see him after I heard he won the triple jump championship in the state of Louisiana. 6'3", another great athlete. Speed is good, but not great. Everything else is fantastic. Body control, balance, burst, instincts. He's got it all. He can become an All-American on both sides of the ball. And as you saw right there, he can really run with the ball also.
Yeah, I think Kevin Sumlin just maybe asks him, where do you want to play? I love that he's from plain dealing, because he was just plain dealing. All right, at number 6, Tom's 75th overall player, Malik Gray. He's from Tennessee and has decided to play in-state for the Vols, who Butch Jones says, while they're not champions of the SEC East this year, Tom, they are champions in the game of life.
They sure are. And Malik's, you know, it's a great year in Central Tennessee. He's one of the best players there. I'd seen him the last 2 years. You can see him playing linebacker. You can see him play safety. And you see him on the opposite side of the ball when he's playing quarterback or running back. But I do think he's going to wind up right now as a strong safety. Could grow into an outside linebacker within a couple of years. But Butch has got himself an outstanding athlete and could play him wherever he wants.
Yeah, love when guys stay in their home state. And at number 5 is Lamont Wade, 66th overall in the class. He's from Pennsylvania, considering Penn State and Pitt, along with some others. He's tweeted out that he's been playing safety lately, Tom. I don't know if that's going to be what he does in college.
I don't think so. I don't think he's big enough for safety. I thought he was big enough and fast enough for cornerback or quarterback or wide receiver, depending on which team he signs with. But he's one of those elite athletes in the Western PA area who I saw as a sophomore, junior, and a senior. And I was just very impressed with his overall game, his explosiveness and ability to find the end zone on offense and to find the ball on defense. This is a terrific all-around talent. Another real good punt and kickoff returner also. So whoever gets him's got a three-ring circus on offense, defense, and on special teams.
Yeah, no doubt he watched that Penn State Pitt game with opportunity abounding in front of him. At number 4, Jacoby Stephens, a 5-star prospect, 41st overall player in the class, a Tennessee native on his way to LSU next year. Huh, Tom? Well, we'll see if that changes with the coaching situation.
It may change because Ed Ogeron's the guy recruiting him. Look at the way this guy can close on the ball. He's another one of those Central Tennessee standouts, a 5-star prospect who can get the job done on both sides of the ball. I really like him on defense, though, and I think he prefers wide receiver, but once you watch him play defense, you can see why I prefer him on that side of the ball. But he's got great hands and he's got terrific speed and body control.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, moving up to number 3, Mississippi native Cam Akers, 32nd overall in the class. He decommitted from Alabama earlier this year, but he's still considering the Tide, as well as LSU, Georgia, Ohio State, and Florida State. No in-state schools, Tom?
You know what? Mississippi State had been in the mix. I had him meet me in Starkville each of the last 3 seasons, but right now I think he's starting to look at the teams that are playing very well this year, and I think Alabama could wind up with him again, depending if Alabama wants him. I thought he was the best player in the state of Mississippi last year as a junior. He plays quarterback, and he could play quarterback. He's a little bit like Dak Prescott, except a little shorter, but he's got a good arm and tremendous running skills. But most schools are looking at him as a tailback.
All right, up to number 2 now, and that is where we find James Robinson, 29th ranked player in the class. He's from Florida and is considering the Gators, along with Clemson and Ohio State. Which side of the ball will he be playing in college, Tom?
I think he's going to wind up as a wide receiver. When you look at him, he looks like an NFL prospect already. He's got the physical muscle structure of a Terrell Owens. Big physical guy. He's got very good speed, a terrific all-around athlete. I liked him 2 years ago as a free safety. Then when I watch him more as a wide receiver on film, I'm getting to like him more on the offensive side of the ball. He is explosive, and he's almost 6'4". So this is a guy that can really play, can stretch a defense with his speed, but he also has got great hands and not afraid to catch the ball over the middle.
All right, always exciting to see how these guys pan out. And Tom's top-ranked athlete and 12th overall prospect for the 2017 class is a Texas native, Jeffrey Okuda, a 5-star recruit considering Ohio State, Alabama, Florida State, Georgia, and Oklahoma. What position and what school do you see him ending up at, Tom?
You know, Adam, 2 years ago I had him as an All-American DB, and this past year an All-American running back, wide receiver on offense. I have all the players in the Metroplex meet at Grand Prairie every year, and so he lives in Grand Prairie. He's been to all of our get-togethers the past 3 years, and nice kid, great kid. And I asked him what he prefers. He said wherever the coach wants him to play the quickest on when he gets to college. But he's got great hands and an explosive ball player on both sides of the ball. I've loved him in the last 3 years. I've actually thought that he's a ball player that could have probably gone in and played Division I ball as a sophomore in high school. He's that talented.
How about that? Well, we'll see if the Texas situation changes his eventual selection as well.